So you need to pick something with 10 to 15 individual packs in it. Goldfish, colored goldfish, they're the same shape, but they have different colors. Barnum and Bailey is the same color, but has different shapes. Fruit snacks, I think there's like 15 packs in this. Now this is now you can't all get plastic straws, but this is a good idea because they're different colors and they're cheap. Candies, and I wouldn't get these. I would get more like M&Ms and Skittles if I was going to get candy. I would get M&Ms and Skittles. Rubber bands. I didn't think about that. And pom-poms. I don't even know what that is. Do you eat those? I don't think you eat those, do you? Oh my God. Military. Oh my God. Terrorism. We're spreading terrorism. Y'all know I'm a terrorist because I'm a veteran. And foam stickers. So you got different colors and different shapes. This one's more different shapes because each little military man holds his gun in a different fashion. Only a terrorist would know that. Pom-poms, different colors, and rubber bands, different colors. Now, I would not do rubber bands different shapes because you get different sizes and you go crazy trying to figure out the different sizes with rubber bands. So I would do colors with rubber bands. Okay, now what are you going to do with it? Well, depending on what you get, you're going to divide it into shapes or colors. And then you're going to do a title page. Your title page should have your data project on it. You would call it data project. You can call it data project on M&Ms and Skittles. Math 120, this is -24. Instructor, Hubert McClure. Student, whatever your name is. And if you want to put a picture on the front of it, I would suggest it because these people, shut up. Do a title page. Do an introduction. I am doing M&Ms and Skittles. Now, I don't want everybody to go out and buy M&Ms and Skittles. I'm just using M&Ms and Skittles because that's two examples that I can think of right off the top of my head that would be nice. Okay. I am doing the project on M&Ms and Skittles. I will be dividing these up into colors in each package or something like that. And that's what you're going to do. With colors, you'll break them up in colors. With shapes, you'll break them up in shapes. And then you'll run a tally. Green, yellow, blue, apples, pear, grape, carrot, whatever the flavors are, or whatever the colors are, whatever the shapes are. If you're doing animal crackers, you would do lions, tigers, bears, oh my. And, you know, you would do elephants and just that kind of stuff. The military men, if you're going to do the little standing army men, you would do standing with gun, laying down with gun, that type thing. And then you would do a relative frequency on each one. Then combine all of the information into one table. Right there. So they want you to do each package up to, I guess, 15, and then do a total of the 15 and do the relative frequency. I don't know if you have to actually put a picture beside each one. Like I said, these people, they go kind of extreme on this stuff, okay? Now, you can do it in an Excel spreadsheet, or you can do it by hand. I would highly suggest to do it by the Excel spreadsheet so you don't lose it. When you save it on your computer, it's there. and you can work on it whenever, because they have given us no due date. And to make the best thing, here's the best. There's the best slide right there. We will add more to the project as we cover new material. That's it. So, and if you ask me, I'm going to say I have no idea, because I was sent this by email and told to present it, and I'm presenting it. I got it Friday, and I forgot to cover it Monday, so I'm covering it now. It's also in the 12029. I gave them the same presentation. Does anybody have a question? Does anybody really care? Is anybody still out there?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the input.
We are here.
Miss Eve,
I have a
you
question.
sound like you in a barrel. Yes, ma'am, Miss Hicks.
Do you have to just say, like, after we finish this part, do we submit it, or we just wait
I haven't been told that. I would probably say you just keep it on your computer until I say you need to turn it in.
Okay.
And I'm going to be listen, I'm going to be very liberal on this, because y'all know how I feel. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not going to be very hard on you. I'm going to be very liberal. Hold on just a second. Okay. Miss Eves, do you have a question? Your things keeps turning on and off.
No, I was trying to see what you said I sound like.
You sound like you, let me turn my volume up on, okay. My volume on my TV is down. Now say something.
What were you trying to say I sounded like?
You sounded like you were in a barrel.
No, I'm at work.
Now I hear background music. Background voices.
There are people eating in the dining room.
Okay. Well, I can hear you now. Turn my TV up. Okay. So let's get started on class now. And I'm going to pull up the questions for today. I got 2 questions to go over. One is from this class. The other one is from the other class. 120. Okay, this is from this class. 4.1, 17/7. 17/7. Now I'm switching over to the enrollment page, which is this page right here. So if you got a question, you need to like raise your hand so I can stop. Okay, that's how I switch between there and the chat page. Okay. So this is a test question, and it is a question that I agree with up to B. I like the question, but I don't like the last part, but I'll show you how to do it. First of all, they give you 2 tables. And the 2 tables, the first one is the data set. The second one is the critical values. Now, sometimes critical values are being used. Critical values are really brought in chapter 9, but they're using critical values here. Go ahead and click on that. And depending on how many data points you're given is what your critical value is. So this one, let's see how many data points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 5 data points. So here is our critical value. So you need to write that down for this problem. Our critical value for n is equal to 5 is 0.878. So I'm going to write that down, and I'll write that down in red because that's important for C, for part C. The critical value for n is equal to 5 is equal to 0.878. Now, when we do the problem, you're going to come back to that. That's all you need the critical value for. So now you can get out and you don't need that table anymore. Now you need the data set. And there's the data set. I'm going to use the Excel spreadsheet, and then we'll type it in the calculator for those that still need practice with that. Let me go ahead and pull up the handy dandy calculator. And after I pull up the spreadsheet, we'll, as soon as I can find the spreadsheet again. There it is. Okay, so there is our data points, and I'm going to make them bigger for you. There you go. And here is our handy dandy calculator. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Stat, Edit, and I'm going to clear L2. And I'm going to clear L1. And I'm going to type in 24667. 24667. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to type in 4, 8, 10, 13, 4, 8, 10, 13, and 19. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and highlight my X and Y's, hit Insert, go to Scatter Plot, and there's my scatter plot. I'm going to put it over here so we can still see the calculator. I'm going to click on one of the dots, right click on one of the X's, and hit Add Trend Line, and go down to Display and Display, and there is my information for this line. Now, since we don't have R, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say R is equal to, oops. No, that's not what I want. R is equal to, thank you, equal to 0.8286 raised to the 1/2 power or 0.5 power or the square root. So we do have a correlation. It's 0.91. That's important. And we have our equation for our trend line. And I'm going to put one more step in here. See that next X is 8? This is a good habit for you to get into if you use the Excel spreadsheet. So let's say that I'm wanting a prediction for the next number. Let's say 8. And then I'm going to put the formula in here, parentheses. I'm going to put this equation. So that'd be 2.5625, 5.5, I'm sorry, hold on, I can't read. 2.5625 times, let's see, that'd be A10, close parentheses, minus 2.0125. And that's going to give us the number for 8. So if you extended this line out to 8, it'd be right here. It'd be 18.5. Well, what about 7.5? Well, 7 or 7. 7 will give us 15.9. What about 1? 1 would give us 0.55, right about there. You could actually do the 0. 0 would be a negative number because that, well, I don't know, it's heading down. Let's see. I'm putting my ruler on the monitor. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be about -1. So let's see what happens when I put in 0, -2. Okay, so you can use your calculator. Now, the calculator, you use the table to do this. So this is just extra. We'll mark that in some kind of weird color because that's extra. This is something, you know, for your benefit. So we'll do it in that mauve looking color there. Okay, so this is extra. Okay, so now you're going to compare R to your critical value. You've got this. Let's do it on the handy dandy calculator. All right, those of you that have a calculator, go ahead and punch it in. Punch it in. And I'm going to hit Stat, Calculate, Linear Regression. And it's already defaulted to L1 and L2. Make sure your diagnostic is on. I've already told you that like 5,000 times. And there it is. So I'm going to write this information down because I've got to type all this in and the spreadsheet's not going to be up. So I'm going to write this on my. So Y is equal to 2.5625 X minus 2.0125, and R is equal to 0.91. Okay, now I'm going to extend this a little bit. There you go. You can have some extra digits for the R in case they ask you to go to 3 digits. 0257. 0257. Okay, so you're done with the work. Now I'm going to show you one more thing. And in 4.2, they may ask you this. What if I ask you for 8, like I did over here? Well, in an Excel spreadsheet, you type in 8 after you put that formula in, and you get that. All right, in the computer, in the calculator, you go to Table, Second Graph. And there's your numbers. And let's say we want to go to 8. X is equal to 8. There's 8. 2366, and that's not right. Oh, I know why. I haven't cleared my graph. Sorry about that. I'm going to have to graph. I got to graph the, I got to put the formula in the computer. So Y is equal to 2.5625, 2.5625 X minus 2.0125 and graph. And we also need to put our, what you call it's on there. So second stat plot on, and it's already defaulted L1, L2, hit graph. And you don't see any of it. Well, you need to hit stat or zoom, zoom 9. And there are your points. And now you can go to second table and go down to 8. 8 should give you 18.488. Look there, 18.488. It's a miracle. Okay, now I'm showing you 4.1 and 4.2. Okay, and I've already shown you 4.2, finding Y minus Y hat, and I'm not going to go into that because y'all will probably send me more homework questions later But I've already showed you how to do 4.2 with the y minus y hat. So now let's get back to the question. Okay, and we already picked that. And 0.91, we know that that's the, and it says round to 3 decimal places. So that would be 0.910. Now, since the, and write this down, and I'll write it down for you right here in my Word document. There we go. Since, and write this down in pink, since 0.910 is greater than 0.878, we have a positive correlation. You also know it's positive because the slope is positive. But sometimes some statisticians use the critical value. If this had come out less than 0.878, it would be a negative correlation. So since 0.910 is greater than the critical value, you have a positive correlation. So because the correlation coefficient is positive and the absolute value of the correlation coefficient is 0.910, it's greater than the critical value of 0.878, a positive linear relation exists between X and Y. Okay, so make sure you write that down because this would change to negative if you had a negative correlation, because point blah, blah, blah is less than 0.878, a negative correlation. Okay. And that's how you do that problem. Any questions on this one? I like the first and the second part, and I like when they ask you the equation. I really don't care about the critical values and all that, but that's how you answer the question. This question comes from the other class. We'll look at it and see if it's the same. 4.119. Same type question. So how many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got 5, so it's going to be 0.878 again. Yep. And let's do this one. Now I'm going to let you do this one. I'm going to let you do it on your calculator or your spreadsheet. So there's your points. Go ahead and do that. Give y'all, I'm going to put the stopwatch on you. Give y'all 2 minutes to get started on it. 2 minutes. Okay, that's close enough. I'm going to do this on the Excel. I'm going to do this on the calculator because y'all probably have calculators and I'm going to use it. Okay, so stat, edit, 26179. 26179. 87695. 87695. 8675309. All right. Oops, I don't need the Excel spreadsheet. There we go. All right, hit stat, calculate, and linear regression. And calculate. And there is your information. I'm going to write it down so I'll have it. Y is equal to negative 0.0652173913 x plus 7.32608697. Now I'm writing it out because I don't want to go back and forth with the calculator and how I need to round it to 3 decimal places or 4. So that's why I'm writing everything out. And R is equal to negative 0.1398757212. Well, R is going to be way less than the critical value. So I would say this is going to be a negative correlation. So which one does it look like? Let's go ahead and plot our points. So that will be second, stat, on, and it's already defaulted, so hit graph. Okay, we're gonna fix that in just a second. Go to y is equal, and this is going to be negative 0.065217 plus 7.32608. 7.32608. And graph. And you're not going to be able to see it, so what we're going to do is hit zoom 9 for stat. There you go. And you see it has a negative correlation, negative slope. And it's not very strong. A 0.13, 0.14 is not very strong. Around 3 decimal places, that's going to be, oops, it's going to be negative 0.13140. The correlation is negative, and the absolute value is 0.140, which is less than, not greater than, whatever, than the critical value of 0.878. There is a negative correlation exists. Now, it might say none, but none is when you get to 0. But there are some books that will go with there's not a very strong negative correlation because it's like 0.14. Yeah. So hit no correlation. There you go. Some books say no, there is a negative. I agree with the negative because if you look at there is a negative correlation. Okay. And that's the answer there. Okay, so that's 2 questions. I'm not going to delete them because I'm going to go over them in tomorrow's class. So I'll leave those there. And we'll go on to bigger and better things. Now, what was the last thing I covered And I know we started covering probability. What was the last thing I covered as far as probability goes? Somebody look in your notes and tell me. That means that you need to interact with me. I know it's awful.
Hold on, I'm looking for it.
Okay, say it one more time.
Subjective probability.
Okay, subjective.
Gmail.
Subjective, anything subjective, basically, and you need to write this down while I'm pulling this up. Anything subjective means that it has emotion with it. Okay? If I tell you the sky is blue, that's not subjective. If I tell you that I like this person that's running for city council because of this, this, and this, that's subjective. Okay? Subjective is when you interject your own emotions into a decision or information or anything like that. Okay? Now, subjective can be in statistics and probability also. And this is 5.1. I think you said subjective. We did the piggies. That was about silly. Why don't they just use a die? They're getting there. Subjective. Subjective probability of an outcome is probability obtained on the basis of personal judgment. Personal judgment. Write that down. Because that right there, that sentence is a standardized test question. Write down, there's two kinds of polls. There's a subjective poll and a suppressive poll. What's a suppressive poll? What does a suppressive poll do? It tries to get you to do something like in a suppressive state. Like if I put out a poll today and I tell you that I've done my research and there's going to be a snowstorm tomorrow. Some of y'all are going to say, well, I'm not going to come to class. I'm just going to team in. I have suppressed you by giving you that information. Okay? You have decided to stay inside because of the information I gave you. Now, do you know if that information is correct or not? No. You're just taking me for my word because I'm an excellent statistician. Okay? And I tell you that no matter what you think, it's going to snow 3 inches tomorrow. And tomorrow morning, you will not come to class. I bet you $1 because you've got that in your brain that it's going to snow. All right? That's called suppressive information. Suppressive. Making you do something in a suppressive state because of what I told you or what I presented to you. Subjective polling is when I throw my personal judgment into the poll or the probability. An economist predicting there is a 20% chance of recession next year would be a subjective probability. In his fall 1998 article in Chance magazine, a statistician reads the sports pages, page 17 through 21. Hal Stern investigated the probabilities that a particular horse will win a race. He reports that these probabilities are based on the amount of money bet on each horse. When a probability is given that a particular horse will win a race, is this empirical, classical, or subjective? It's subjective because it's based on the feelings about the horse will win a race. It's not based on how many races they've won before, or what is this horse versus this horse in the past 5 races. Who won the race between these 2 horses or between these 5 horses? So you have to have an actual data point to be classical or empirical. Here, it's just how much money how much money you bet on something is not statistical. That's subjective. So if you was to write down anything for subjective, write down feelings. Subjective means feelings. Suppressive means stay in the house or don't go out or whatever the case may be. That's why I feel, and just as my personal opinion, I feel that you should not have polls. I don't think you should have polls or somehow before an election. Because in my opinion, sometimes polls affect the way you vote. I don't care what election you're talking about. I don't think we should put out these national polls and stuff before the election or before an election. Because to me, that persuades some people which way to vote. Okay, that's being not suppressive, but subjective to a certain extent. All right, now we're going to talk about 5.2. This is very important. This is probably 30 to 40% of your test, Unit 2 test. 5.2. 5.1 is general probability. 5.1 is general probability. And general probability consists of probability of a king in a deck of cards, probability of a 6 on a die. I'm writing this down for you. The probability of heads on a coin, the probability of 2 children, boy. And those are general probabilities. Now, also remember that there's 2 types of probabilities. There's the physical probability and the theoretical. I hope I spelled theoretical right. It just don't look right. Okay, physical, that's the observed. Physical is also called classic. Okay? And theoretical is based on numbers. Numbers that you know, like 52 cards in a deck of cards. Okay? So that's 5.1. 5.2, we're going to be talking about probably the additive rule. Yeah, the additive rule. Okay? Now, with the additive rule, you only have to remember 2 things. And I'm trying to get there. Where is it? You don't need Venn diagrams. There it is. I'm going to put this in pink or red. And you know, if I put it in pink or red, you need to highlight it. The word or. When you see the word or in your question, that dictates, you know, you're using the additive rule. What is the probability of 6 or 8? You're going to use the additive rule. Okay, what is the probability of positive or O positive or RH negative? That's the additive rule. And you've got to remember that when you use the additive rule, you've always got to subtract the overlap. Subtract the overlap. That's the two rules that you need to remember about the additive law. Okay? And I'm going to give you an example, and I always use this example because I can do it. There's several examples in this one example. Now, some of y'all are nursing students, and some of y'all are already nursing assistants and nursing, you know, what is it, LPN or whatever, and then you go RN. So some of you are already in the medical field, whether it be a nursing assistant or whatever. Some of you are going into the medical field, the nursing field or the medical field. Okay, and you will see the following. And the following is the blood types. RH negative, RH positive. And I think there's A, B, AB, and then O. Y'all, I think. And I'm just going to put some numbers in here. I know that A, B, and O are more. I can't. Which one's the rarest? Anybody remember the rarest? Is it AB negative? Oh, well. Y'all ain't going to talk to me anyway. 2, 4, 1, 8, 7, 2, 1, 5. Okay? So this is a problem that used to be in another book, and of course if it ain't broke, we fix it. So if we've got a good book, we change it. So this is a problem, and here is what they're going to ask you. They're either going to ask you, they're going to say, what is the probability of A or AB? Okay, so what I'm going to do, we see the or, and we know it's additive law. First thing we need to do is we need to add up all the numbers because we got to have a denominator. So let's see, 8 and 2 is, oops, I shouldn't have done that. 8 and 2 is 10. 5, 4, and 1 is 10, so that's 20, 23, 30. Somebody tell me, I believe I got 30. Somebody check me, please. Those people that can talk, please check me and check and let me know if it's 30 or not.
It's 30.
Okay, thank you, Miss Hicks. I appreciate you talking. I know you're not weaned on a pickle. I had somebody yesterday said they didn't know what that meant. Well, think of it as weaned on a lemon. How about that? And then I asked somebody, what does a lemon do? Or what's distinctive about a lemon? And they said it's a fruit. I said, I know it's a fruit, but what's distinctive about a lemon? It's a fruit. So I didn't get much help out of yesterday's class. But what's distinctive about a lemon?
Sour.
It's sour. So if you're weaned on a lemon, that means you're always sour. You don't have a sense of humor. You don't interact. You just sit in a closet all day and don't talk to people. All right. So I'm going to take my pink highlighter, and that's going to be my A. And I'm going to highlight that column. And I'm going to take my yellow highlighter, and I'm going to highlight AB. Do I have an overlap? No. then you don't have to worry about overlap. So now I'm going to take my pink. That's going to be 2 plus 7. And my yellow, oh Lord, y'all going to come on and complain. I can't see it. I can't see it. Plus 1 plus 1. And then I'm going to subtract my overlap. Well, I don't have an overlap. So I'm just going to put minus 0 because I don't have an overlap. My two colors are not overlapping. So I don't subtract an overlap. So now 2 plus 7 is 9 plus 2 over 30. And 9 plus 2 is 11. And 11 over 30, or decimal, is your probability of A or AB. So that's one type problem you're going to have that don't overlap. Now they go back and they talk about joint and disjoint. And that's a fancy word. Remember I told you that the statisticians make up fancy words because they want to make their, shut up you. Okay. The two are disjoint if there is no outcomes in common, no overlap. Okay. Another name for disjoint, since this is not sophisticated enough for a statistician, mutually exclusive. So disjoint, let's write that down because we've got to talk big in this class. That's disjoint means no overlap. No overlap. Which means mutually exclusive. I don't even know if I spelled that right. Exclusive. Mutually exclusive. So you got to learn how to talk like that when you're in statistics because you got to impress people. All right, now let's do one that it doesn't have an overlap. Or, sorry, that does have an overlap. So I'm going to use the same numbers. I'm going to draw another. So RH negative, RH positive, A, B, AB, O, 2, 4, 1, 8, 7, 2, 1, 5. And now I'm going to take, and the question is going to say, what is the probability of B or RH positive? So I take my handy dandy. We still know it's over what? 30. And I'm going to take my pink highlighter. And that's going to be B. And I'm going to take my yellow highlighter. And that's going to be RH positive. Oh my gosh. What do we have? We have an overlap. So now we've got 4 plus 2 in pink plus, because it's additive law, and yellow is going to be 7 plus 2 plus 1 plus 5. And minus the overlap. The overlap is what? 2. And now you do the math. 4 plus 2 is 6. Hold on. Getting my colors mixed up. Plus 7 plus 2 is 9 plus 15. Minus 2. All over 30. 6 plus 15 is 21. 21 minus 2 is 19. 19 over 30 or decimal. And that's the 2 types of questions you're going to have with the additive law. Oh, man, I better stop because y'all are going to start convulsing. Okay, the 2 types questions is either going to be overlap or no overlap. Now, do you need to make a table? I would make a table, and most of the time, your problem with the additive law can be made into a table. Okay, like this. So, but you got like 8 or 10 questions in this one example. You could do, what is the probability of B or AB? What is the probability of AB or RH negative? What is the probability of O and A? What is the probability of O and RH positive? You've got 8 to 10 different examples right here that you can do just with what I've shown you today. So that's what your homework is. Take this table right here, of course, work on 4.2 homework, and do some problems with it. Okay? And somebody has a question, and I know they're probably saying it's time to go. I have class on campus. Okay, go ahead. Get out of here, Miss Bailey. I'll mark you here. Okay. Thank you. I hope she's already left. Y'all have to tell me, y'all are going to have to stop sitting there like a tit on a bull, okay? Y'all going to have to start interacting with me. And nothing. Okay. Let me go to the... I must have done something to offend y'all. Maybe that's it. Have I offended y'all?
No, not me at least.
Okay, well.
Yeah, you have.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. You're tough. Get used to it. That's life. All right. Attendance tracker. I think everybody was here the other day, but I'm going to check. I just need to check for the people that wasn't here. Okay, Dungan is here. Griffith is here. And Smith is not here. Okay, so we still got one person not here. Hopefully they'll show up Friday. Okay, the rest of y'all have a good afternoon, and I will see y'all Friday. Okay? Okay, Hubert, see you later. Okay, you have a good day too, Hubert. Okay, y'all, thank you. You too.
Hey, Mr. McClure. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Can you unlock the test for me?
Can you tell me why you took a week and didn't do the test?
I just didn't have.
I want to hear this. I want to hear why 7 days you didn't take the test.
It hasn't been 7 days.
I gave y'all 5 to 7 days to take the test. I don't know exactly, but that's not the point. The point is you had a week to take the test. Now tell me why you didn't take it.
I thought we could only take it on Friday.
Oh my God. You gonna use that?
I swear.
I went over the test. I told you. You have a week to take the test.
Yeah, and it started
Now,
on
are you going to
Friday.
tell me the truth and tell me that you didn't hear that, or you didn't attend class, or what? My Labs Plus has the dates on it.
I heard you say we had a week to take it, and I knew we were taking it on Friday. So I thought that would mean I could take it up until Friday of this week.
Do you go on My Labs Plus?
No.
Okay. The dates are on My Labs Plus.
Okay.
I will let you take the test, but the highest grade you can make on it is a 90.
Alrighty. That's
all right. I'll fix the dates, and you can look on there and see when you can take it. I'm not mad at you. I question why you didn't take the test, because there's no way that you can have a week to take the test and not just evidently. I mean, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but evidently you just didn't look at My Labs Plus and see the dates. Because if you looked at My Labs Plus and you went to the test and said, well, I need to take the test, when do I need to take the test? Well, the dates are on there.
I thought test day was Friday.
That was the review. I said the review. I have said this stuff. I mean, I'm not mad at you. I'm just getting a little bit tired of people, and this is not just you, okay? I have at least one student, one or two students in every class that does this, okay? So are you saying that 79 other students or 70 other students can read my mind? No. I've got 10 or 12 students that don't follow directions or don't listen. Now, I will fix the test. I will give you the ability to take the test, but you have to get on My Labs Plus, and it will show you what days that you have to take the test. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a good one, and I'll see you Friday. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. McClure.
All right. See you.